This is WorkSpan TV. I'm Ryan Johnson from World at Work. I'm joined by two representatives of Nokia to talk about how Nokia refreshed their pay-for-performance plan and their performance management system. And let me turn to you, Necia. What was driving some of the decisions behind Nokia taking on the pay-for-performance system?
February 2011, our CEO came to us and shared a story about a man on a burning platform who had to radically change his behaviours in order to survive. And we as a company were like that man. We were standing on a burning platform and we had to make radical decisions to change our behaviours and fix and change the company culture.
How did you know that you had to take on this challenge?
Our CEO really led it from the front. He really shared and we understood the market situation. And as a function, as a compensation and benefits team, we then looked and assessed at what we could achieve and how we could support that change in terms of our solution and our approach to compensation and benefits.
What were some of the first steps you took in this process?
We went and looked and assessed our compensation and benefits approach, looked at everything that we did, understood the philosophy and looked at its effectiveness and to see, did it achieve and did it support the new company culture and the challenger behaviour and the new mindset that we had to have. We then went and discussed with senior leaders and asked them and interviewed them to find out what they believed we should do and change.
So senior leaders obviously are very important in a process like this. And the other piece that's important is the level that's right above the line, in the line managers. Were those really the two driving forces in this process?
We actually went and held focus groups with employees and line managers about our solutions, about the performance management and incentive plans, and discussed with them, and they reaffirmed what the senior leadership team and what we knew about the performance of our performance management system and the incentive plan, that it did not currently support the new Nokia challenger mindset and behaviours that we needed to turn the company around.
What did you learn from the focus groups with your employees?
So what we learned from the focus groups were that there were some bad feeling toward the existing incentive plan and also our performance management system, that they'd been in place for quite some time, and some of the values and principles behind that had started to erode, and our employees felt very able in the focus groups to share with us some of their most revealing thoughts about where we were, and indeed some of the free text comments that we received in the focus groups now are funny, but at the time were quite jarring. Things like, it's a mystery to me how my incentive is calculated, this is a communist system, it's a fraud. And I think, that's somewhere we wanted to make sure we didn't go back to, we wanted to get away from, but it was useful context for us when talking to senior leaders about the change we needed to really display that we had an issue that needed to be solved.
Now, you also had a 3-point performance management system or review rating scale at the time. And what was happening with that?
That's right. So we had a 3-point performance scale in place, and we found over a period of 3 years that consistently 81% of our employees were rated in that middle category of on target. And where you heard conversations around the organisation about people being on target plus or on target minus, that never really translated into people using the other two ratings fully effectively. So we wanted to tackle that inertia around the middle rating and make sure that we achieve more differentiation.
So you've gathered all this input over time, focus groups with employees, et cetera. You've got some rather funny feedback. In hindsight, it's funny now, of course. And so what did you do to change?
We took steps to stand back, look at what we thought we needed to do, where we needed to get to, and then we tested those ideas with those focus groups. And once we'd done that, we found that it was very much aligned to what we'd already been thinking might be the right answer, which was to relaunch our performance management approach, restate our principles, and then at the same time retire a lot of our existing historical incentive plans and focus everybody onto one new simple plan where we really held them accountable for their own performance.
So then you rolled out the performance management system. I wonder if you would share with us, Lynn, about how that occurred, some of the timing that was involved.
We obviously had done the work previously on the research and the focus groups, and we actually went to the board for final approval in September 2011. We'd already warned them we were coming earlier in the summer. We'd shared some of our ideas with them earlier on to seek direction and clarity with them. So when we returned in September, it wasn't a surprise for them that we were coming. We did receive approval to relaunch performance management and also the new incentive plan, and we went straight into planning for the launch. We were tasked with having it online and working by 1st of January 2012, which gave us 3 months to go live, but actually only 6 weeks to launch, because we wanted to make sure that we took managers aside in early November 2011 and we talked to them about what we were planning, and we shared with them and gave them the opportunity to comment, observe, ask questions and explore with us what was there, so that they were ready for the employee launch, which we did in late November, early December 2011. And we asked our managers to keep quiet, which we hadn't done before. We shared with them in face-to-face training what was coming, and we also gave them some online discussion groups where they could support each other. One of the best pieces of feedback that we had was that they appreciated the opportunity to absorb everything before their team came running at them to ask exactly what this meant when the employee launch happened.
So lots of buy-in. The managers obviously were very crucial in this process, is what I'm hearing. So the plan rolled out, and of course people watching a case study like this, Necia, always want to know what were the takeaways, what were the most important variables in the process. I don't know if you'd share with us any of the lessons that were learned.
One of the key things was that ask employees, make sure that you understand and get their feedback. Don't necessarily implement exactly what they want, but what the business needs. And that leads me to a second thing, which every solution that we look at is not necessarily right for everybody, but it was right for us, right for our culture, and right for the time.
Lynn, what were some of the lessons that you took away?
We learned to allow managers time to absorb, and that's something we've actually carried forward into other projects that we've now done. And also the fact that you can achieve things in an incredibly short time frame when you have committed and enthusiastic people. Our HR community was outstanding at jumping in to support in that short time frame.
Necia, what was the total time commitment from start to finish?
Well, the burning platform announcement was February 2011. So we had from February 2011 an assessment of what we needed to do through to implementation for 1st of January 2012.
And now we're recording this in early 2013. Lynn, can you talk about some of the results that you've seen?
We have achieved greater differentiation than previously. So where we used to have 81% of people in the middle category, we now have 5 performance ratings, and we have around 50% of our employees in that middle category. And they are well spread amongst the other 4 categories as well. So that for us has been a real achievement. We've also found that managers have really engaged with the calibration process that we put in place to support the performance management. And actually they now have an appetite for more time to spend talking about people issues. And that's led on to good quality discussions around succession planning, development planning, and so on. The other thing that we've seen is that innovation has continued to thrive in Nokia. So last year we applied for more patents than we've done in any year since 2007.
I want to thank Necia Lightbourne and Lynn Millar from Nokia in the UK. And for WorkSpan TV, this is Ryan Johnson.